O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome aboard. Yeah, I know it's a Saturday. You know, I'm hanging around the house, and some birdies kind of reached out to me and stuff, so I wanted to kind of have some fun with some of the stuff that has been going around, and maybe stuff we can enlighten folks on. Talk a little Dolphins. I know we're getting ready for the Canes at 8 o'clock. We've got the Inter Miami squad at 7:30. Inter Miami, by the way, favored because Messi's coming back now. It's going to be a hard game. Cincinnati's really good. Miami is plus 100 in the money line, and Cincinnati's plus 210 in the money line. And Cincinnati getting half a goal is minus 135, where Miami giving half a goal is plus 100. So we'll see if Messi plays. That'll be a lot of fun. Hurricanes at 8 o'clock. Hurricanes are favored by 19.5 points. Over and under is 57. The Canes are plus 750 here on the money line. Okay. So, I mean, it's just, for Georgia Tech, that is. But minus 1,200, that's a lot of money on the money line. So, anyway, so we are getting ready to watch the boys take on the Giants tomorrow. Also, we will have the pregame show for you here on the platform at 11 a.m. So we'll have a little fun. Sean Stanley, myself, Chad Shobe, everybody will get that going, and we'll have a little fun with all of that. Of course, hopefully we will have a victory cigar, is what I'm hoping for. That we light up a Perdomo. You know, I know Nicholas is. I know he's on the road right now, right? If I'm correct, I've been checking out Nicholas Perdomo on the road, doing some stuff. Where is he? I know that I saw it. I was following him there on social media, and I know I know Perdomo is having an event, and they are at this Saturday 1 to 10 p.m. Cigars International in Bethlehem. So I would imagine that is Pennsylvania, right? Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Cigar Fest, Perdomo event going on right now. So you can go meet my man Nicholas Perdomo, big Dolphins fan. I know he's probably, like in Steeler country and stuff like that, which, of course they've got their deal. Obviously, they should be loyal to their team. Anyway, so appreciate all of you tuning in and watching the show as much as you can, and watching our channel as much as you can, and any of our segments and rants and interviews and all that good stuff, which I guess the fraud stuff has gotten people a little bit lit up, which look, and just to kind of go on a little bit more, Dolphins need to get lit up. You know what I mean? What happened last Sunday against the Bills is what has been going on for 30 years for the Dolphins. Anytime they have a little monicum of success, they let it get to them. And that's what they did last week. They walked in there to the Bills with their little silly emoji shirts and all that, and they want respect that they haven't earned. And you got to send the message and tell them this is bullshit. You can't do it. It's a fraud what you did there. Everyone there. And so you need to respond. And Philadelphia is the time in 3 weeks. You got to take care of business here. You can't overlook these teams. You got two sorry-ass teams you got to take advantage of and build the record up. But more importantly, you need to start sending a message to the top teams and sending a message to your fan base that you can hang in there and beat those kind of teams. You don't want to be the Dolphins team that's been the same one the last 30 years. Just happy to make the playoffs and then get your ass kicked and sent home. That's what played last Sunday. And that, whether you want to admit it or not, and see, here's the one that, this is why I'm more furious than I've ever been, okay? With Ricky Williams and the Jay Ajayi year and the Wildcat, I called that also. That was just a novelty. That was just something that to get you by. This is real. Okay, the front office is giving you, again, they went and got Chase Claypool. And that's ridiculous. And I know he's a head case, and I know the kid's got a crap ton of maturity issues, and hopefully, but talent he doesn't lack. And he brings a dimension to this team like Chris Brooks does at running back. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important. And they and that front office, all they do is they walk in there and they say, hey, we can acquire this guy. Hey, we can acquire this guy. Oh, really? Wow. Okay, let's go. And this team has the talent on offense and defense to win. Okay? They have it. They have it not to get their asses kicked by 28 points. That's a load of shit. You can't do that. There's no way you do something like that. Okay? You can't do it. You got to play a lot better. You can't be that team from the last 30 years. You're better than that. You actually have a real quarterback now. You actually have a defense that should play a hell of a lot better than it did. And boy, wait till I tell you what I know about something there. And so, which is going to floor you. But you have what you have on defense. You have it on offense. You have more than most coaching staffs have had. You need to perform at a higher level. So for the next 2 weeks, take care of business the way you're supposed to take care of business. Okay. And then when Philly comes, you got to start winning these games. If you can win the Philly game, that's a nice start to sending that message. But you must win 2 of the 3 against Philly, Kansas City, and Buffalo. You got to start winning these kind of games because you need to give yourself that confidence that when you get to the playoffs, you've beaten the best already. You can now compete with them. But if you're just happy to be there, then, we've all seen that already. And these guys, it would be a crime. See, last year, the excuses were there, the injuries. The entire secondary, you had a whole bunch of injuries, the quarterback. You had every reason. You had no reason to even win that game. And you did a marvelous job of competing and playing with more heart in a playoff game than you did last Sunday. And last Sunday, you read your press clippings. Or nowadays, you went to social media and they were on all the shows everywhere. Everybody's doing interviews. You notice that? Did you notice that last week? Everybody. Mostert's here. This Chubb's over there. This guy's talking. That guy's talking. Everybody was all over the place. And everybody's telling them how you guys are absolutely phenomenal. And they were full of themselves, and they got their asses handed to them. So whether you like my comments or not, doesn't mean I'm off any bandwagon, which you morons. Some of you don't even know what the definition of a bandwagon is. By the way, the definition of a bandwagon is all those people that follow Inter Miami now. That you'll see when Messi goes to the bench, thousands run. Those are bandwagon people. Learn the definition. Those are people that don't give a shit about Inter Miami. They're just here for Messi. That's it. Those are real frauds. The ones that are just going for Messi, those are frauds. They're not Inter Miami fans. Golden State, I'm sure, picked up a ton. The big three, I'm sure, picked up a ton of frauds all over the country. That's kind of the way it goes. That is bandwagon. They need to be thoroughly criticized because that's the kind of shit that can't happen again. Okay? If you lose, when you lose to the elite, you lose like you lost in the playoff game. Okay? The coach made a mistake, which, again, made mistakes in this game. And first year injuries, whatever. Okay, but you fought a hard-fought, close game, respectable as hell. Got to do better than that. Got to do better than that. Now, let me see what we got here on the chat board. What we got going on? Josh is in the house. What's up, Josh? Thank you. Say hi to Alexa for me. Sharon Calderon is in, or Jeff in Long Island. Thank you, sir. Say hi to your son, sir. Revo13, a humble legend, is in the house. Todd A.O., your topic on Omar and Poop's podcast. Omar said you fired him because of his QAM work. He said he was, I didn't fire him, okay? When you have a sponsor, okay, that pays for exclusivity, and then you're somewhere else, there is no longer exclusivity. So since there isn't exclusivity, and he knows straight up, and eventually he'll be out of work from QAM at the end of the year when the football season's over because their broke ass won't have anything. So I know how it goes, bro. I mean, dude, I've been at this for 30 years. I forgot more about radio than all these guys ever will know or whatever. States is a mutual. Of course it was mutual. I love Omar. I love Poop. They have their own thing going. I have my own thing going, bro. That's just the way it goes. Business is business. And I'm very clear about it with all our insiders from the get-go. It is exclusivity. And the only other thing that they can do is their own stuff for, the Herald or NFL Network or ESPN, whatever they're employed by, the ones that really make, where they make their real salary from. So yeah, that's how it is. So it doesn't matter. Doesn't need to be humbled. And Tyreek said it's also on his podcast, need to be grounded. Tua is the problem. David Iglesias, you're a moron. Let's see. Urban Posse, Big O, Dudley Durong, and father flew into Miami. Yeah, I know. He says he may call me. I don't know if he's hanging around. Let's see. Phil Quinn. Have to win. Of course you have to win the next 2 weeks. I mean, just win. I'm not here for style points, whatever. Just win the games the next 2 weeks. But Philly is where I'm measuring the Dolphins. I need them to take the next step. Okay, I need to start seeing the next step. They've been the same team. When they're at their best in the last 30 years, they beat all the shitty teams, and then they lose to the really good teams more often than not. Yeah, once in a while, you'll surprise a team because everybody does it. It's the NFL. But we need more than that, dude. You got to start winning those kind of games. So what else do we have? Cap for Life is in. True Fin Fan. Thank you, True Fin Fan. Appreciate it. He's putting on his big old shirt. Ty Crook, Jermaine, I don't think we're frauds. I just think Fangio's defensive scheme sucks, and the players are hating it. Wait. We are going to unbox some stuff you don't get anywhere, of course, on any platform, by the way. Let's see. I personally think it's nobody's business what's happening between. I'm good with everybody. I'm fine, So I wish everybody the best, and I move on. I'm not worried about that. Are you going to MetLife Takeover? No, unless you have a sponsor that can pay our way so we can then broadcast from there, because then we have sponsors. And so, that kind of stuff. If you can do that, then we'll broadcast from anywhere. If you want to pay for it, no from Sodom. So, that's, I always love that. Like, hey, where's this? Where's that? And then, hey, it requires money. And then that's when they're like, oh, really? Oh, okay. I thought you were some rich fan that travels around or something, which I know we have those. People that have money and they're able to travel around. That's not who I am. Rich? Oh, God. Only richness I have is that I have, a beautiful wife and an incredible daughter. And that's it. And my dogs. You know what I mean? And Sean. Can't leave out Sean. But, and of course, an incredible support system out there on the platform. That's it. Outside of that, that's about my only richness right now. That's it. The platform, the family, the dogs, music. That's my only richness, my brother. Outside of that, it takes money to do anything and everything. That's just the way it is. The good thing is the platform reaches a lot of people, so it's good for advertisers, And remember to visit our advertisers like Hialeah Park, like Essential Moving Experts, and my guy, Sean Williams. They have moving all over the country, and they're Dolphin fans, and they're based in Daytona Beach. Beautiful Daytona Beach. 1,000%, Big O. Time to win big statement games. We're not young no more. No, and this team has a window, and it's these 3 years here where you're going to be able to play with the money and the cap a little bit, but eventually you're going to push some stuff back, and then it's all going to come to, roost, and you're going to have to start using less space for players and more space for dead cap money. It's going to happen. And so you only have a couple of years where you can play with that stuff before you're in cap hell for a couple of years. Like Chris did the first couple of years when he took over, when he got rid of the Ndamukong Suhs and the Tannehill contracts and all that. After you got rid of Ndamukong Suh, you had 2 cap hits of 13 and 19 million of dead money. That's space that you couldn't use. They say, oh, it's fake and all that. Like my guy Omar, right? That one day the cap is fake and then the next day it matters. You know what I'm saying? Okay? And you can't have it both ways. It just doesn't go like that. Okay? Just doesn't go like that. It matters. You will pay a price. Anyway, so let's get to it. I want to get to something that is kind of surprising that I was informed of. Okay? And one of the things, a couple of these things, because I was talking about, how we talk about a thumper in the middle and things like that. And so apparently some of the folks in the building were listening and reached out. And some of the stuff that I'm being told, okay, is that really Vic doesn't like thumpers. He wants agile linebackers. Okay, now, maybe you don't have the right athletic, agile linebackers, but he really doesn't want big linebackers there in the middle. And really don't expect them to be moving people around like what we all wanted with X. It just is not going to happen. And the system, basically, it's more about they're right now kind of lost in it. And that's kind of the way they're looking at it, not the other way around, that they're going to, because really, what may have happened was, and this is from what the information I gathered, this is the part where I'm going to go freelance a little bit here on this, but it's kind of, in a way, something that I think has a lot of substance to it because of the information I gathered. I don't think he trusted them to have X move around, and then that creates a shift with everybody else back there. And he just felt that there would be all kinds of mistakes made because it's still a new system and they're still learning. And so actually the linebackers that they got, like David Long, he approved it. So it kind of proves that he really wants agile linebackers. Again, let me interpret a little bit from the information I got. The real problem from inside is the failure at the front. The people at the front are not doing their jobs. And they are the ones that are not making the jobs easier for the people in the back. And so then the people in the back can't react and fly around the way they need because the people in the front aren't doing their job, whether it's holding up stuff, whether it's penetrating and disrupting, whatever it is, but they're not doing it. And you know that. I don't have to tell you that Chubb is not doing his job and Wilkins not doing his job and Raekwon Davis isn't doing his job and Sealer was kind of quiet here in the last week here. And so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So there's a give and take to all of this. Yeah, you probably don't have all the players you need for your scheme. Yeah, we would all in a perfect world like me, I would want to move X with Diggs all over the place, but that's not what the scheme is. And that's why they went and got another elite corner, because they don't want to have to move anybody. They want to wait. When they have Jalen Ramsey and X out there, they're just going to leave Jalen Ramsey and X out there more often than not. Will there be a special situation? Yeah, there could be a special situation that X moves with somebody, that Jalen moves with somebody, but like it's not really going to be flexible. It's going to stay the defense that he's had forever. You know what I'm saying? And the David Long thing tells you he's not really looking for bigger linebackers or thumpers, or he wants guys that actually can move, that are agile, can move sideline to sideline, because he needs guys that can also cover. So it's really kind of a catch-22. And for those of us that are looking for those kind of linebackers, he's just not going to really. It's interesting. You know what I'm saying? When you get to hear the perspective of how it's being viewed inside the building. Okay. And so that's why I'm saying that it's just one of those deals where I think he's got to get comfortable. They've got to get comfortable. And in the end, the guys up front didn't do their job, haven't done their jobs overall. I mean, come on, dude, this is a contract year for Raekwon Davis. What are you doing, bro? Where are you? You're 4 games in. You have 13 games to go. You've got your contract life. You're not coming back. Christian Wilkins, dude, you want $25 million a year like all the other sack guys? Well, okay, so if you want that, then get sacks. If you don't get sacks, okay, I've told you this already, right? Chris Greer, look at him. He pays people that can get sacks. So if you prove you can get sacks, you'll do it. But Christian Wilkins, your stats are closer to Sealer, and he got less than half of what you're asking. And you want the kind of money, the guys that are getting 10, 12, 15, 18 sacks a season. You're not getting that. So if you're not getting that, we can't give you that kind of money. So where are you? You said you're this guy, right? You want that kind of money? Well, nobody. Do you scheme for Christian Wilkins? Do you? No, you don't, because you don't scheme for a run stopper. You scheme for a disruptor. You scheme the person that can ruin your day. Christian Wilkins doesn't ruin your day. He just kind of gets in your hair. You know, he's kind of like the Noid from Domino's, and then he stops the run, and he's not even doing that this year because he's got that contract in his head. So guys aren't doing their jobs in the end. That's really what's going on more than anything else. The guys up front are not doing their jobs and making it the way it's supposed to be for everybody on the back end. And then eventually, Jerome Baker's got to start making plays. He's not making any plays. They know Chubb isn't making plays. They know he's got pressures. If you go look in the pressures, he's not bad in that department, but he isn't getting the sacks. You want to feel him more, basically. You're not feeling anything. You're not feeling anything from Raekwon Davis. You're not feeling anything from Christian Wilkins. So you got to start feeling it from Jerome Baker. They got to start doing something. And this is why Sunday pissed me off, because don't act like you're not supposed to be the underdog. Don't act like you're insulted or anything like that. Get your asses out there and prove that you can beat this team. You're not going to go anywhere in the playoffs until you own Buffalo. And McDaniel's 1-3 against Buffalo. And the same pre-snap penalties. And you gave up on the run again early. And it's just same stupid things that went on. And this was the stage. You know, it's nice to beat the sorry teams. You're supposed to beat the sorry teams. You're supposed to. My Lord, it started at, I think, 9.5 and 10. The line is at 12.5 points. That means the money is pouring in on the Dolphins. Nobody has any respect for the Giants. They're not going to have any respect for the Carolina Panthers either. So it's not impressive that you win. You're supposed to win. You're supposed to be 5-1, but it's really the Philly game where we start to really measure you. And if you go beat the Giants and you beat, Carolina and then lose to Philadelphia, then you're just frauds again. And you got to start shedding that label that you're ready to take the next step. That you're ready to, you want to be known as the kind of team that if you beat them, you have arrived. Christian Wilkins, you want the big money. Well, you got to become the player that they scheme against. You get what I'm saying? I don't care how emotional and sensitive some of you fans are. That was a fraudulent performance last Sunday. And enough of this shit already. Start beating the elite. Become the elite. That's kind of that's what I grew up with for nearly 30 years with Shula. We were the elite. We were one of the best. Ask Redskins fans. Commanders fans. They have the same problems that we do. Miami's ahead of them right now in bouncing back, but they were royalty, just like the Dolphins. You're not there yet. And beating a good team once, no, you got to start beating them often. That's why I'm saying you got 3 big-time games left. A lot of people want to throw in the Ravens and the Dallas Cowboys. They don't accomplish anything. They're not. The Ravens were like a bully threshold for Miami, because the Ravens pee in their pants all the time in the playoffs. They do nothing. The Dallas Cowboys barely get into the second round, and they're constantly peeing their pants. They're not. The Eagles have accomplished things as a franchise lately. Kansas City's accomplished a lot lately. Buffalo has not won anything big, but hell, at least they've been to the championship game in the AFC. And they've gotten farther and they've owned the division. So you've got that leap that you've got to make. They've made the leap of Baltimore no longer pushing them around with 2 of the last 2 years. Okay, they've taken care of that, but Lamar's Mickey Mouse with his arm, so he's really not a hurdle. They've crossed that hurdle already with Baltimore. That's not really a hurdle. And Dallas is talented, but they're choke artists. They don't do anything. If they were actually, if they were the Cowboys of the 90s and you go and beat them, then I'm telling you, holy shit. Now we're talking, okay, dude, that's a hell of an accomplishment. But it's really Philly, Kansas City, and Buffalo left. You need to win 2 of those 3. If you go 1-3 in those 4, then you're the same Dolphin team until proven otherwise. It's hard to trust you. And what you did on Sunday, it's hard to trust because it's the same crap that's happened over and over again. It's kind of, it's sad, but it's the way it is. So expect them to look for those kind of linebackers in the middle. He likes those kind of linebackers, agile. The thing is, Jerome Baker probably doesn't fit what they want to do at all. And so they've got to probably deal with them. I told you that X is probably gone at the end of this year. I would imagine Baker's another one that's gone at the end of this year. Ogball, they had to deal with that because it's from prior schemes. So they're gonna wipe themselves off the books from certain players that aren't going to fit this scheme, and they're chewing up some salary cap. So that they will turn the page there, and then they will find guys for Fangio that he thinks fit his scheme. Appreciate all of you out there. Don't forget, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. We will be live tomorrow morning here in studio at 11 a.m. to get you ready for the Dolphins and the New York Giants. They better take care of business. That's for damn sure. Let's see what we got on the chat board. I just don't think we're frauds. I just think Fangio's defense sucks and the players hate playing in it. I explained that right now. It's not really that. It's partially their fault. They've got to adjust. I personally think it's no. Oh, okay. I appreciate that. Big O, time to win big statement games. We're not young. Oh yeah, I think I read some of these. Let's see. Happiness is wealth, but your health is your wealth. Yes, it is. That too. No doubt. How much time do you think we have for this window for Big O? Maybe 2, maybe 3, or am I wrong? Yeah, I think 3 years right now you have. And that's why this season is very important. Last season, you could have made a deep run in the playoffs. I really believe that, but you weren't healthy. Sucked. They had the worst luck last year. God, I felt terrible for the Dolphins. Why are all the starters on the D-line having down years at the same time? Well, they got to pick it up, man. Fangio's got to change his scheme. No, he's not going to change his scheme. Not going to change the scheme. Not going to change the scheme. They've got to play better. The Bills were pumping in fake crowd noise. Hey, bro, the Bills kicked their ass, dude. Let's not make any excuses. That's loser talk, okay? The Bills are better. They own the freaking Dolphins, and I'm tired of it. Take care of the business on the field. You know, I was around watching them win like 20 straight against the Bills. Okay? I'm not saying to go win 20 straight, but I'm telling you, start winning more than you lose. It's time. It's not about winning one game and, wow, we won one. You know, how does that win now look at the beginning of last year? Now you're 1-3. Doesn't mean shit now. And if you lose again at the end of the year, you're 1-4 against the team under the new coach. That can't happen, man. You've got to be 3-2, 4-1, 5-0. That's what you've got to be. You've got to start turning the tables, and that's what pisses me off. Well, it starts with one game. No, that was last year. You got your one game. Now you've lost 3 in a row. No. Been watching Dan Marino highlights all week to cheer me up after that week's game on Sunday. Yeah, that was bad. Rousseau was the correct pick, not Phillips. Greer screwed up and doubled down stupid with Chubb. Well, right now the Chubb one is looking bad. There's no doubt about that. That we can't hide. I mean, overall, he's done a great job. You're not going to, the funny part is you can't pick on one thing when there's 8 other positives. You know what I'm saying? If it was all negative, then okay, I'm with you. But the team has a shitload of talent. So find a way to get it done. And players have to play better, especially on defense. They got to play with an edge, with some anger. Get freaking pissed off, dude. Aren't you tired of losing to the Bills? Aren't you tired of being wannabes? That's what they are. They're wannabes. They're not the real deal until you start proving it. Whether you want to admit it or not out there, Dolphin fans, I'm sorry. But that's the case. McDaniel's all about getting his players paid right. Is that only on the offensive side of the ball or what? They just traded for Jalen Ramsey and he got paid. What are you talking about, dude? They just paid Sealer. What are you talking about? They pay the people that come up for a salary that deserve a salary. It's not an offense-defense thing. It's you keep good players and you pay them. That's what you do, dude. And whether it's offense or defense or whatever it is, you're just looking at it, you're doing what they do as Democrats and Republicans, that they're so sensitive about everything. All they see is their side and they never see the other side. That's what you're doing right there. They pay whoever they have to pay. They paid Byron Jones. They paid X. Now they paid Jalen Ramsey. They're going to pay you if you're a good player. And if Andrew Van Ginkel continues the ball, he's going to get money. The reason Christian Wilkins didn't get money, because he wants sack money, and he doesn't produce sacks. And he doesn't understand that. And this guy isn't just going to give you money. And by the way, Connor Williams wanted money. He turned down Connor Williams. So it's not just offense. And he paid Tyreek Hill. He'll pay whoever has to get paid. You try to keep what you think is worthy. Unfortunately, Bradley Chubb has not been worthy. Brandon Jones played bad against the Bills. JJ, I'm convinced he wasn't ready to play. You saw him. He just looked out of place, a step slow to react. He was not in football, shape, sharpness. That was not Brandon Jones. I felt horrible for him. That's what I instead of criticizing him, I felt that he was put out there and it was a poor decision, but I think they were kind of screwed because the Sean Elliott injury, hopefully it's not, he's not out long. I think he might be returning soon. But that was just a catch-22, dude. I kind of feel bad for him. Well, the Bills are better than the Dolphins, because they win. I understand the talent thing you're talking about, bro, but that's loser talk. Until it's proven, that your statement doesn't mean jack shit. Nothing. It means nothing whatsoever. Until you actually prove, like Baltimore now. What did I just tell you? We've crossed that threshold of Baltimore now. Tua's beat him twice. 2 in a row now on him. Do you fear Baltimore like we used to fear Baltimore? Like, be honest now. Okay, this show's about actually calling it like it is. When the Baltimore game was coming, what did you think? Oh, shit, dude. Ass kicking. My God, those people get us, and they beat the crap out of us, and they beat us by 15, 20, 30 points. They run the hell out of the ball. They dominate this, that. Remember? That's how you thought about the Baltimore game. It was just a bunch of bullies, and they got bullied around. You crossed that threshold. You're 2-0 the last 2 years. And I expect you to win again and go 3-0 because you have a quarterback. You have a passer. They don't. You just got to hope that day, because, there's 2 or 3 games a year that Lamar will have that he'll actually, because that's what athletes do. They can't pass consistently. But there'll be 2 or 3 times a year where they'll have these magical games that they'll be on and, and people will get fooled and they'll think that Lamar Jackson actually is a passer. But you've crossed that threshold. You haven't crossed Buffalo. So saying you're better than Buffalo, not when you got your asses dominated 28-0. You need to start winning consistently against Buffalo before you say you're better than Buffalo. Okay? It's like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And then that's where the plan changes. And so the Dolphins can talk a lot, but they choke almost every single time against the Bills. What is it, 12 out of 14 since McDermott's been there? Something stupid like that. You're 12-2 against your divisional opponent. Dude, I lived 20 straight against the Bills. It was like a running joke for us Dolphin fans when they won 20 straight against the Bills. Think about that. That's 10 years of football that they never saw a victory. So that's loser talk. Until the Dolphins start beating Buffalo more than losing to Buffalo, you're not better than Buffalo. And that's the bottom line. That's the reality that the Dolphins are in, whether you want to admit it or not. Let's see. It's going to be a winner-take-all division come Week 18. Heard Eazy-E might be shut down for the season because of the neck injury. Well, maybe that's why they traded for Chase Claypool. Let's get into this, man. Chase Claypool is a beautiful pickup. Farmer Greer, who is our new nickname for Chris Greer because he just finds low-hanging fruit all over. There is no better farmer than Farmer Greer, right? He finds Zach Sealers of the world. He gets Andrew Van Ginkel in the 5th round. You know, he finds those low-hanging fruits all the time. A Robert Jones off the street, a Brandon Shell off the street, an Isaiah Wynn off the street, a Kendall Lamb off the street. He finds low-hanging fruit all over the place. Oh, Braxton Berrios, small little contract for a very important key guy, low-hanging fruit. I mean, all over the place. This guy does it on a consistent basis, and it's one of the reasons why I think they're such a good team, because they're hitting more than not on their draft picks. Now they hit more than they don't on trades. Now they find undrafted players all the time. Chris Brooks. They find them all the damn time. Salvon Ahmed. They find them everywhere. Julian Hill. You know, so this is what they do. So this is why I think this is a good team. This is why I'm so effing pissed off about Sunday, because I know they're better, they're deeper, they have talent on this team, they have enough to win. You know, the whole Spo line, you have enough. Dude, you have enough. Your team is not injured enough, and especially to lose by 28 points to Buffalo. You should win that game. And if you lose that game, dude, I need you to lose that game by a field goal or less. I need you to lose that game at the end. A super hard-fought game that gives me the belief that, okay, you're there with them again. What you did on Sunday. No. Can't do it. Can't do it. Big O, we need an alpha defensive lineman who strikes fear in opposing offenses. Phillips, I still feel, is young and can ascend into the dominant player we think he can become. Yes, I do, but now he's got to get healthy and get back on target. And by the way, the guy that mentioned Greg Rousseau, he's right so far. Rousseau has kind of been maybe the better player out of the two, that's for sure. So what are you going to do? But Phillips, I have high hopes that he was going to turn the corner this year. He needs to get his shit straight and get out. Again, you know, you can only blame the scheme for so long. At one point or another, players got to make plays. And who's making plays? Andrew Van Ginkel and who? So why is Andrew Van Ginkel making plays? Why is that? Explain that to me. I don't understand that. I'm trying to figure that out. How come he can make plays and everybody else isn't? How come he looks like he's playing like his ass is constantly on fire? Am I seeing that from everybody else? Did I see that on Sunday from everybody else? I don't think so. Right? I think I'm right? The intensity of Andrew Van Ginkel, has it been met by everybody else on the team on defense? I don't think so. So we'll see. And by the way, they're missing 3 of their linemen: center, left guard, and left tackle. If they don't dominate this game, it's you know, I want, you know how tonight I want boring football from the Canes. I want boring football from the Dolphins tomorrow in the second half. I want to do our post-game show where it's, this was done in the first half. dominate their ass. That's what you need to do. So they better win. That's all I can tell you. By the way, you can make a donation anytime to the show. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. Always appreciated out there. And we will return tomorrow at 11 a.m. Yours truly, Sean Stanley, Chad Shobe. We'll get you ready for the Dolphins and the Giants. And we'll have a little fun and hopefully talk about a victory and improve to 4-1. You all enjoy out there your Saturday. Enjoy Inter Miami at 7:30 and the Hurricanes at 8. And as always, go Dolphins.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.